this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick it. Everything is going down. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Hey, this is Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. Got one of my co-stars already in the house, Miss Willette Hurst. Big Hank will be coming in. Last week he was teaching Vacation Bible School at St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church in West Side Long Beach, place where I attend under teachings of Dr. Williams. He endorses everything that we say on our show. I don't specifically speak for him, but as long as we telling the truth and edifying God, he loves that. Cynthia Joi should be coming in. She's doing a lot of work for the ADA. I would tell anybody, look her up on Facebook, Cynthia Joi Towner. You might just see her on the Joy Towner, Joi Towner, and SNU. And she works with a lot of people who are stroke victims. And Dean said, hey, great show last night. I had a good time. Thanks, Dean. We had a good time. On Monday nights, I MC a radio show for WO. It's called The Hideout, which we've been doing the takeover. And then we hit upon something last night. It was so fun because what we did was we took classic songs from movies. And then in the middle of the show, I wasn't even in the middle of the show. At the beginning of the show, we started realizing it was like movie trivia too, and we started having fun. It was a lot of fun last night. I'm looking forward to next Monday night, God's will. All our neighbors, especially Dean representing the BV Nation. I tell everybody, especially this show right here on Wednesday nights, it's called Hump Day Hangover, and they be the music classic and they rock music along with their commentary. Their commentary had me laughing. Sometimes I can't punch in, so I listen. On Friday night, they got Rockabilly where they play the country classics. And I've been telling everybody who's listening that I stopped being a slave to my own culture. You know, I grew up with R&B, gospel, rap, and I never really paid attention to rock, roll. My grandfather would play country music late at night and in the mornings when I spent the night over his house. So I get to knowing some songs, you know, I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I grew up on that for real. I'm on to that one. I don't care if you don't like my twine. It's the way I live or the way I talk. Even how I sang. But, you know, it doesn't take from where I come up. I grew up in the hoods. I never get my family, my grandmother, my mother, right? Say, you're going to have to better, you're going to have to do something better yourself up to bring yourself out of this, you know? And some people are a slave to their own culture. So they get stuck. Sometimes we watch movies and the movies have serious rock and roll beats. Like one of the movies I like is A Knight's Tale. It's with Heath Ledger, the one who committed suicide after playing Joker on Batman. There's a movie called A Knight's Tale, Tale, and they use classic rock to punctuate the soundtrack of the movie. And if you ever go watch the movie, it's pretty cool. So we deal in soundtracks. Now, like I said, BB Nation on Wednesdays, Friday nights, they hold it down. Wednesday is the Hump Day Hangover. I like that. I like their flyer and everything. Um, Tomorrow night, yours truly will be in a comedy show with some cats. They kept asking me, man, you feature, because I was going to be back in LA. So it's in Johnson County in Kansas. So I said, well, I'm already over this way. Let me just stay and support the community, the comic community, especially when they want Roy Anthony. Yeah, Nice Sell is a good movie, for real. And so once again, this is Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. We got a co-star, Miss Hurst. How you doing, Miss Hurst?
I am fantabulous.
Fantabulous. So she took fantastic and fabulous and mixed it together and called it
You did me.
and stuff. So, blacks, we have a tact for putting words together or abbreviate something. We abbreviate something real quick. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. I remember one of my hamburger joints that I love is right there off of Century and 87 called Monster Burger. But one of my neighbors was like, hey, man, you going down to the MB? You going to MB? And I'm like, MB? What's MB? Monster Burger. I'm like, dude, you abbreviate every single thing and stuff. Even in our text messages, in text messages, they have 60 characters. So I have my kid's cell phone. We would text each other, and I would abbreviate stuff. But when they would bring their work home, they was having a problem in English classes because they was writing out a paragraph and abbreviating it. And so I didn't blame them, I blamed myself. So I said, hey, even when we text message, if you get a text message from me or whatever, I spell my words all the way out. I think I don't really abbreviate that well, no much and stuff. So, and I know you don't abbreviate, Miss Hurst. You're an author. You write books, so I know you don't be abbreviating.
I abbreviate in certain words.
Do you? What you abbreviate?
The words I may put a little asterisk on certain stuff, and
we don't use them spell checks like we need to. People like forget it. I'm abbreviate.
It depends on the emotion of what's going on as the text is being sent.
Yeah. Hank just in the house. He's already in the house. What's up, bro? Hank, man, what's up with you?
Man, what's going on, Roy Anthony, man? How you doing? Willette, what's up? That's my girl right there, man. What's going on?
Man, so glad to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know Big Hank has been off for 2 weeks. Now, last week he was teaching Vacation Bible School.
Right.
The week prior to that, he had everybody shook up throughout the nation. For real.
Yeah.
We was all for real prayers when, that's what I like.
Yeah.
When I found out that Big Hank had an episode and he was in the hospital, I went to say something on Facebook. It was 385 people in front of me. Myself, he ain't gonna see mine. I felt bad, right? Like if it had been me, I think I probably would have had about 2 or 3 people. Big Hank had 385 people.
And shit, man. And by the time it was over with, man, I had about 700-800. But I just want to say thank you because I felt all the prayers and I needed all of them. I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm gonna tell you, when you get scared. When you get scared, when you know you're scared, is when the first thing come to your mind. You say, "Damn, I think I need to call my mama." I promise you that. I didn't think about no. I didn't listen, man. Let me tell you. I did my little exercise when I do my exercise, and I do my exercise. I'm an athlete, man. I work out all my life. I've been doing this stuff all my life. So I go to do my little workout, and it was a Monday. Okay, it was Monday.
Yes. And
I had rested all weekend, and I just got there, man. I only did one little routine of my little half-ass burpees I'll be doing, and I got ready to walk and do the rest of my lap, and the park started flipping upside down, started wobbling like this. Damn. I said, wait a minute. So I said, man, trying to shake it off, and I tried to walk again, and then my left arm got numb, and I couldn't. When air leave you, let me tell you something. When you can't get no air in, that's when you panic. That's when my mind went from not my mama to I think I need to call the ambulance on myself. I never called the ambulance on myself. Never ever did I even think about calling the ambulance on myself. And so, man, so I sat down and I tried to get some air, and there wasn't nothing coming in. So that's when I said, God, now I know you ain't finna let this happen. Lord, just let me walk back to the house. Let me get from the park back to my house. And he allowed me to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I was stumbling and wobbling home, but I made it home, sat down, got me some water, relaxed. And by the time my wife came home, I was still in the same spot. And she came home and she kind of looked at, she said, what's wrong with you? I said, I told her what had happened in the episode. And she said, oh, okay. I said, well, you know, if I don't feel good in the morning, I'll go to the doctor. She said, shit, nigga, I'm taking you to the doctor now.
No.
You don't look right.
That way go fly.
She said, you don't look right. You don't look right. Nope. So we go to the doctor, right? And so this about 5 or maybe 6 hours later, 7 hours later, and get to the doctor. And so when you go to the doctor and you start talking to him, tell him what's wrong, and you
with your heart.
Yeah, when you mention your heart, they take you to the back, take you straight to the back. So they took me to the back, man, and ran some tests. And what they said is, he'll probably be home. We probably send him home tonight. We just gonna run some tests, make sure ain't nothing wrong with him. And so they took the test, and so me and my wife came out, and she said, I'm kind of hungry because she had just got home from work. I said, well, let's go get you some chicken or something. Went to go get us some chicken or something, man. When we came back, the people was looking for us. They said, the doctor looking for you. I said, what? The doctor looking for me? And you know, doctors don't be looking for you. You got to find the doctor in that motherfucker. They were like, the doctor looking for you. So we went to the back, and then and it was a real doctor in that motherfucker. He said, you got to stay. We can't let you go. You got to stay because your troponin troponin levels, TROPONIN, troponin levels have elevated. Right now, they wasn't high. Now they probably was high when I was at the park. They was high then, but by the time down
after you sat down for them hours.
By the time I got there, it was coming down, but nigga, they was still elevated. So that's when you know, nigga, I almost had a heart attack.
But that's when you know God covered you.
Yeah, exactly who covered me. Cause it wasn't God that did it, the devil trying to attack me, because I'm finna win big. I promise you, I got some things coming in and he trying to attack me, but God said, man, I got you. Don't trip.
When I saw that picture of you in the hospital, I was just like this. Hell no. No. My whole world just stopped. Like, man.
Hey, listen, man. So let me tell you what. I'm just gonna tell you this part, man. Yeah. So when the lady told me, they said your troponin levels is elevated, and we can't let you go, right? So this was about 8, 9 o'clock. They let my wife had to go home. Ain't no more visitors. My wife go home. They put me in the room. I'm in the room by myself. Man, I start praising God. You hear me? I start singing. I love to praise him. I love to praise his name. I start singing.
Worship.
I will bless the Lord with all my soul. I'm singing all this stuff all night, man. These are only Jesus songs I know.
And you was making the devil mad too.
Making him mad. Look, and so in the morning when I woke up, and the nurse came in there, she came in there real fast. She said, Mr. Norman, guess what? I said, what? She said, your troponin levels they came down. You stabilized. I said, what? She said, you get to go home. I said, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. I'm just letting you know he'll do it. All you got to do
your worship is the greatest weapon.
Well, yes, you know, that's what Paul I looked at when I knew that Hank was in good hands. When I seen 385 people on their love with prayer hands, for real. For real. That meant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I came in, he had just texted me Friday, you want the video about the preacher who got robbed.
Yeah.
And then I called you Monday. You came across Mar. I called you Monday. That
Okay.
and you didn't answer. And I like, I said, oh, this brother, he always take 5 or 6 hours before you call
Yeah.
me back. So
Yeah.
then on the show, we played Jesus' real video.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, where's Big Hank? It was a
Okay.
quarter to the hour. And I say, he usually pop up by now. And so right when we got off, Cynthia Joi said, Big Hank's in the hospital. I said, what? And they said they seen it on Facebook. I got up there with 385 people that already had prayer.
Already. Yes, sir.
That's because the work you've been doing, period.
Thank you, bro.
That's
Appreciate
the
it.
devil will want to put shock on, And I
Yeah.
even sent him a text that said, hey, it's nothing that you've been stressing about, right? Because Big Hank is doing a lot. He don't put up, he don't say nothing. I'm saying something because that's how it wants to be, it's always a witness to tell. Big Hank
Yes,
is
sir.
at the church. The pastor said he's at the church making sure it's straight 7 days a week.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir.
neighborhood is clean.
Yes, sir.
He's not
Yes,
walking past a piece of trash and say that has nothing to do with me. Their whole neighborhood is clean. He takes care of his mother, who's around the block, around the corner, and his mother-in-law is right there. He don't miss a beat. He don't say nothing. I personally was wondering. I'm like, well, adrenaline came out. That meant, it could have been a chronic attack. But I was teasing with him. But the thing is that I admired how many people, right when they seen it, jumped up.
Yeah.
There was no hesitance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Big Hank, I was so happy. Then last week he's teaching Vacation Bible School.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
He's still back home.
People sitting there watching your life because you know how I told you when I first came on here that people watch the way you walk. They don't want to hear the word. They watching the word, the way you serve, and see that draws people to Christ by the way you walk. Not this.
Is that why your eyes is cooler now?
The way you serve.
Is that why your eyes are cooler now from when you first came in? She was like hawk eyes. You gotta understand that.
You know that's your little brother that stay in trouble, huh, Hank? Ain't that your little brother that stay in trouble?
I first came in contact with
yes. That nigga
in 1995. I was walking.
But anyway, Hank. But what I'm saying is, like, people will watch you go through that heart attack, or not a heart attack, but go through that health scare. But then you come through and you didn't rest for that week. You came back and served. That's powerful.
Thank you.
That's what people are looking at.
I appreciate it, man.
When people stood up to say, hey, some people just leave like a sad emoji thing that they give you where, someone looks sad. People was actually, I seen prayer hands. I seen different ones make a comment. Because when I came on, I said, oh, you ain't going to even see my comment, all these comments that's on here. It was 385 comments.
You watching every comment.
And,
I thank everyone.
Yeah.
I put a love on each one.
And I'm so grateful to God because you can't tell me what prayer can't do. I'm looking at different witnesses.
Yes,
sir. What prayer can't do. We last night on the radio show, I played one of the songs. No matter how we party and stuff, I give reference to God. No matter how some people look at things, only God can judge me, judge Big Hank, judge Miss Willette. And the only thing we talk about on this show is about humanity. We ain't telling you to do it our way, whatever. We just telling you what worked for us.
That right there.
All individual of us, all three of us have different situations that we didn't do it together. We come together to talk about what we've been through and who did it. And we're in agreement with God. We call out humanity. Our show has never been about sex capades and all that. We have never been exploiting that. I've always felt we reach one person, we got heaven singing. you know, and because some people was caught up in their own mindset, they are slaves to their own minds of not knowing that there's freedom and stuff. Because I ain't never felt, I have felt stronger now since I've been on God's side than I was on the devil's side, and I was bold. But he told me, he said, I want you to have the same boldness for me. You know how we say, he said, keep that same energy. You know, I
Yeah.
want you to have that same
Right.
energy, Roy. I want you to have that same energy, Hank, and you exemplify it.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody on there was
Yes.
saying that. No, not one person said on that comment, "Oh yeah, that's what he get." You know how dirty he is. No one came like
Hey,
that.
well, you breaking up, man. You breaking
Huh?
up.
Well, that's, I
You
think that's on
breaking
your
up.
end.
Breaking up.
It's your
That's
fault.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's your
Okay.
fault. Yeah, because you was echoing a little bit on your vocals sometimes too. He'll
Oh
come back
no.
in. So I want to get on. We're working on a couple of subjects today. When he comes back in, he'll elaborate on. One of the subjects I want to speak on is how many times can people, you know, get away with criminal stuff? To me, it seems like a slap in the face to American people. How many times, like me as a black person, it believe me, it seems to be more laws in minority areas that's enforced than basic laws. So there used to be a song when I was a kid. I fought authority, and authority always won. There's been different standards sometimes with minorities when I know my white neighbors, and you know they don't actually understand sometimes. I've heard one of them say, "Well, they ain't complying." 600 murders of unarmed citizens on traffic stops. 600 people. What you know, it's not all about complying. I can show videos just the other day where these 6 cops went on these people's porch and they were saying the N word and calling out. And one of the cops noticed that they had a ring on their door. But what they didn't know is that there was another ring caught up watching the cop take the ringer off their thing and throw it because of the derogatory language that you're using. And see, there's no cops out there saying, let's go get these, you know, the rednecks or call them out derogatory names. There's powers to be that wants us to stay divided. And they are smiling your face. And I tell people, y'all think that the devil was looking witchy pooey and stuff when he went to Eve? He was smooth and nice. I come with no harm. Why are you sitting up in here? Let me show you that he talking smooth to him. Y'all people was getting tricked today. I'm like, how you dislike your neighbor so much that we'll purport somebody. This dude is doing criminal work, and I'm talking about former President Donald Trump and his people. You know, I don't know about all that, but I do know that somebody in their family got $2 billion from Saudi Arabia while they had papers of nuclear things. How better way? Usually you had the spy movies where they had the little camera thing and they take the pictures and all that. Now you can just sit back and drink some latte while you taking your cell phone and taking pictures. You got top secret stuff on there. You can't, I mean, what power do you think it had? Like, oh, okay, I could declassify this. And what gets me is that the people just still sits up here and say, hey, I see them want to go after the law anytime someone breaks the law with these groups. And then they had the nerves to say, I want to get him kicked out of, I've been an FBI. I mean, then I hear all these theories. I hear theories from people in theories. One time, our producer, Richie King had this when Big Hank's back in. You back in, Big Hank?
I hope so.
You all right?
I hope.
Can you hear? You can hear us, right? I'm
Yeah.
brought up. There's two subjects we're working on today, and one we're talking about those top secret boxes out of Mar-a-Lago, out of former President Donald Trump's house.
Yeah.
I dug up some research. His son-in-law had just received $2 billion from Saudi Arabia without telling us or showing what's the
What?
$2 billion.
Yeah, what's it for? Yeah, what was it for?
I think somebody was sitting back there with them top secret nuclear. You remember in them spy movies, they had that little camera, 007, they'd be taking the pictures of some classified files. Now they sit back over in Mar-a-Lago with a cell phone while they drink a latte taking pictures. Oh, this is going to get me $2 billion.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah. I mean, it's so rapid in your face. It's amazing how the laws apply for everyone in America except for this group of people.
Listen, I can't understand. I guess for the life of me, nigga, you knew they was looking for you, and you know they was on you. Why you still got the boxes there? I can't understand that for nothing in my life. You knew they was on you. They been on you, Trump.
They came in June. They lied to him. they lied to him. I'm gonna tell you something. I've seen a lot of contradiction lately. Yeah. Things are one of the pieces of Roger Stone's clemency. It's online. It's not classified. See, stuff like that I can understand, but they had actually nuclear weapon layouts, schematic stuff. A lot of people don't understand. You can't get to. We got movies like Die Hard and stuff where a person got a little small nuclear bomb in their thing, and they doing everything to get that. So I don't even want to look at those type of papers because it's weapons of mass destruction layouts.
Yes, it is.
And now, what gets me is that you and I have known and learned the hard ways on dealing with this judicial system. You can be thought of being part of something, we quickly get arrested or something. What gets me is how they keep pushing the finish line back.
Yeah.
Okay, so to my understanding, you only need a presidential pardon unless you really guilty about something. You don't seek no pardon unless you're guilty or you in prison already. 6 different senators asked for pardons. They actually got that information. Dean said it was because it wasn't about classified material. They're looking for evidence for January 6th. None of that is classified material either. Well, I have to make a different thing because Garland said that he was going to leave that to the committee. His investigation comes from the blatant. Okay, if you're running for any political office, you cannot try to put power like what they call when they call Raffensperger, whatever his name is, the state senator down there in Georgia. It was blatant. Now they had Senator Graham, Lindsey Graham, was part of that, but when the January after January 6th, and he was scared too, because somebody threatened him on the subway train. Lindsey Graham was saying on place, okay, y'all, the jig is up. He said, okay, but then when the time goes by, everything comes down a little bit. Now you starting to be a little, because he said that on national at the Congress. He said,
well, okay, that's right. That's when the boat was sinking. Everybody started jumping off when the boat started sinking. Yeah, all of it was like, man, I ain't fucking with that. Yeah.
I'm a quote for quote. He went just like this. Okay, y'all, the jig is for real.
We lost the election, man. We lost the election.
But out of all these people who doesn't know on a one-hand basis,
I can't believe they're gonna fall for it again.
To me, I thought we learned when we seen Jim Jones when I was a kid leading the people to an island and they killed themselves. Now I was sharing this story. This is a true story. You know those GoFundMe pages, right? People ain't understanding that a hatred for someone else will make you be so blind that you will break yourself. Okay, a black guy doing the mega rallies put out a GoFundMe page as a joke to say that all this turmoil in America, I would like to move to Africa. So he was doing a GoFundMe to go move to Africa. So him and his friends put it up as a joke. They gave this cockamamie story of America and stuff, right? 2 days later, he looks on there, right? He's gonna take it off because it was a joke, and he seen people using it the right way. $350,000 had been donated.
White people trying to get his ass out of here. White people they were like, nigga, here, we got boats for you. How you want to fly? We got a super duper plane that'll get you there right now. You ready to go? Are you ready to go now? You ready to go now?
Hey, you know how many people start saying it was even white folks going on there talking about going back to Africa? They had changed the name to Abdullah Habib.
I want to change my name too for $350,000. Be like, you know what?
2 days.
I'm ready to go now.
Pay for the red eye for him.
I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go now.
Hey, excuse me for a second. Go.
What happened?
He said, excuse him for a second. He got to go. I would have, man, come on, man. All of a sudden, I got $350,000 to go to Africa.
I would have been gone.
Hell yeah.
I'll be like,
my name is what? Mbugo? Yes, Mbugo and Tombo.
I would have been like, bye, Felicia.
Hell yeah, I'm gone. I'm out of here, man. I would have bought my flight for about what, 2,000-3,000, and I'm down that other 350, 330, whatever it was. I'm on it. I'm out there living large.
But you know what's the trip is I brought that to a reason because of the fact that
I said I brought that to a reason.
Make America Great Again, the slogan was going towards 1956. So I started looking up those years. Well, this is going to be surprising. In 1956, the Republican Party realized that they could go to the poorest white person and make them think, as long as you purport that you are better than a black Jew and a Mexican, they will break themselves. No, literally. So Trump, former President Trump, which I don't knock no one's hustle, I knock the judicial system and the people who votes these people in, where it's causing more division than unity. And I'm not saying I'm going about the white folks, because it's black folks too. Oh man, it's a lot of black, because the next segment of the show is about a black dude. And I'm coming hard in the paint on him, Big Hank. For real. I'm gonna come hard in the paint on him. I'm talking about that. We're gonna come hard in the paint, but I can't understand why people keep trying to justify criminality when it's someone that they like.
Right.
So we want to disband the FBI, the stuff that y'all talking about. We was talking about that when the Black Panthers, they wasn't robbing banks. No. They wasn't doing none of that. J. Edgar Hoover did not like blacks, and he was over the CIA and the FBI.
Yeah.
And he did not like Black Panthers was helping the neighborhoods, keeping it from what it is today. Yeah. When politics affect, one of the biggest things is when you got someone who haven't lived in your culture trying to tell how you should live in your culture.
That was really when the man was keeping us down. He was really keeping us down in when Edgar Hoover was in charge. Oh, he was keeping us down.
And man, look here. I just seen him. If anybody, please go watch the interview with Tom Hanks on I think it's one of them Today shows or something like that. He talked about how when he was a kid, he was taught to different events that happened, like Vietnam War and then certain catastrophes, stuff like that. What he learned about was there was a black lady who was 102 years old who was one of the survivors of the Tulsa massacre. So he said it caught his attention. He's like, Tulsa massacre, what is this? He thought it was in another country. To find out it was Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the lady. And he said when he dug the search up, he couldn't believe how was this not taught to anyone. Dean said, Dean just said, if he took classified material, don't you think they would have gone to Mar-a-Lago when he first left? Not 2 years later, I had a TSC. I believe me, they don't waste any time tracking you down. But see, they took the benefit of the doubt, Dean, because they went in June because the archives are saying, no, this stuff is missing. So they went in June. They went to him believing that, and one of the lawyers said, yes, we gave you everything. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that they keep thinking that the FBI subpoenaed them for just the papers. But no, Dean. They subpoenaed them for the cameras. Because at Mar-a-Lago, because you and I ain't gonna get no membership, they said it's a very private club. They got cameras set up to every room. Well, they found this camera. One of that was spaced up in a closet to look down to make sure, because former President Donald Trump thought that he made the people think that they went in and they went through his closet, went through Melina's closets and stuff, right? Well, they was able to watch a simulcast of everything going down. Now, I got a connection that's deep in there. Why they went through Melina's closet, because in some of the film that they got, some of the boxes was taken from the maid area, took into this closet, because somehow Mrs. former First Lady is not living there no more. It's kind of like a gossip thing going on. For real. She ain't been around.
We ain't seen her since.
Ain't seen her since.
Yeah, we ain't seen her since.
And I just know that there's stuff brewing. And what I want our people to understand is don't get caught up. We used to call it, don't get caught up in the hype.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why some of our people are fighting about it. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if January 6th, some people say it was a hoax and all that. I can understand that. What I can't understand is that I saw big old nooses being, Black folks don't like to see nooses because there was a stain in our history about nooses.
No, that's
my grandfather.
And they know that we don't like to see nooses.
Yes, we don't like to see the Confederate flag sometimes.
No.
I have some family members in here that some of my family members have fought in the Civil War. I'm a historian. I'll be reading it, and it symbolized the enemy at that time. Now, with the power and the privilege that you have, because can't no one explain this to me. How do a conqueror become the oppressed? And Dean said there is no benefit of the doubt when it comes to classified material. They track it. There's a custody law. There's no way he took it and just now found about it. I don't know, bro, because I think some of the people who let him take it knew. This is bigger than us, Dean. We can think that we don't, because I got a partner who's trained special ops. He trains special ops for real. So there's deeper stuff. We be thinking, Americans thinking that we getting transparency. How is people so disrespectful? Where I see on the Senate, I'm trying to watch the Senate. The lady Lauren Barber was going so bad with it that they turned off her mic. She was like a comedian where your time is up, and she started screaming out what she wanted. But her husband and her kids is terrorizing the neighborhood that she is. I look, every time I look up somebody, I go and look at the background, look at who they've been. Then I'm saying, who voted for these people?
Right.
Only birds of a feather flock together.
Hey, look, man, and then and my concern, and it's not my concern, is that I know Trump is running. I think did he create a new a new party?
Campaign.
Yeah, new party or something. Ain't he running up under a new name, a new party? And then
Well, no, they just got a new slogan, which is
okay.
Save America. They went
Okay.
from
Oh, it's not Make America Great
It's
Again.
not Make America Great. But anyway, the same people, they falling for the same thing again.
That it's just look.
Man, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, we should, because the Bible tells us the man to believe lies before the truth. See, and you're right, Dean. The punishment for treason is hanging. It's not nothing to do with race. But what we're saying is on January the 6th, if you go look at some of the footage, they actually had nooses, man. They had nooses, and I'm trying to figure out what this got to do with the change of presidency.
Yeah, they was talking about hanging what's his name, the Pence, but still, man, they
Well, what's this? 1872? What? I mean, this ain't even what is this? England days. They take a witch out and burn. You feel me?
Yeah,
I've been
man.
wanting to ask, who are these people to make a decision on what? So like I keep saying, and I'm gonna say this to Dean, I say it to anybody who if we was to start a new government, it's not just about it's gonna just be blacks. And I don't put all the confidence in a bunch of blacks. I say it'd be equal in those who is rational minded. Let's think. Now you can't please everybody at all the time. We can't do that. Some people gonna be butthurt, whatever. Sometimes I tell some of my neighbors talk about tax breaks when some of us are just trying to work to pay taxes.
You better say that again.
Yeah, so we can't, it's kind of hard and stuff. And then when someone's beat me down the brow and I'm using humanity, I'm thinking the president should be able to bring the country together. I'm not feeling President Joe Biden. He kind of lost my ratings with trying to help Ukraine. When I felt that 500 million can help us with housings and stuff we facing, chicken wings. I used to get a 10-pound chicken wing bag at Walmart for $7. Now I'm getting 1/3 of the bag for $15. I'm sounding like them old people back in the day when I was young. Chicken wings. See, and that's the other thing.
Not even funny though, because it's real though.
Traitor.
Real talk.
It's real. It's not even funny because people out there struggling.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. Who's to say who's a traitor? Traitor to what? When the FBI came, they said there's a mole in the house. I heard the lady, what's her name? The other senator, she's real radical. What's her name? Green, Senator Green, said there's a traitor amongst the midst. Traitor of who? Of someone snitching on Trump?
Come on, man.
So the people raided his house. You know what he said? This is the truth. Former President Trump, when they raided his house, he said, "See what they doing to America?" I started laughing. He said, "We're just going down here. See what they're doing to America." They went your house, man. I could have showed you 100 pictures of a battle ram and all that. I could have showed you, see what they doing to America.
Man, he messed up, man. He the one started the fake news. He started all that stuff, man. We didn't even know nothing about fake news till Trump started saying fake news.
But man, they was doing the fake news before then. And see, I want people to understand. In politics, there's a difference on knowing or liking someone personally. I like Donald Trump. He started the USFL. He used to promote a lot of the boxing matches. He helped some people like George Foreman to get his grill up. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock his man. I remember I wanted to go to Atlantic City and go to his casino. And I loved him on his show. The Apprentice. You are fired. I laughed like what? I'm like, yeah. And so, but then when you start causing separation, because some of the things I don't have no idea about. Some of the things but some things I started looking at. What is that? They pound in our head, what is criminality? What's criminal? What's criminal? What's criminal? And then I see, oh, he's in trouble. He's the president of the United States and he's breaking more of it. and nothing occurs.
But people should have thought he was going to be problems. He's never had to answer to anybody.
But I don't mind him shaking it up though, Miss Willette, because guess what? How's it been problems for us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my thing is, here's what Dean said. Here's my thing. If he did something that they can prove 100%, go get him and lock him up. Just like us, presumed innocent until found guilty. And that's the thing. But let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. They have stuff. He's ready to push his kids under the bus. They ain't been back over there to his house since they testified at the January 6th. Look here, I don't blame Vivek, his daughter. She unlearned from the best. She like, hey, it's every man for himself.
Yeah, your ship and your ship is falling. Your ship is sinking.
That's why everybody jumping off the ship.
There's a lot of other stuff. My grandmother said, "Don't let your good be spoken evil of." Come on, man. They have phone calls and everything. What? Damn. Wait, I'm the end of the subject though. He said, Barack. He took over 33 millions and no one said nothing to Barack. And I said, for one.
Why does his imitation of him why does it look like the same imitation you get from me?
Well, you was raised in Santa Monica, right? Mar-a-Lago is more like Santa Monica than Compton and Long Beach.
Right, Hank? Why was it the same imitation?
That's that nigga. That's his imitation. That's that nigga's imitation.
Barack, I noticed that you took 33 million evidence. They did not say nothing to him. That man, hey, no white folks know he didn't. You think they check receipts, Barbara? Hey, wait, you wrote on that.
They said Barack didn't take 33 cents out this motherfucker. That's what they told him. About 33 million.
Know what they did to Omar Bradley? He was the mayor of Compton. He took too many paper clips and stuff. They put him in jail for 6 months. For real stuff. Look that up. I don't have to lie.
Bradley's up in there getting it.
Yeah. Now this goes to our next subject real quick. As you know, okay, the FBI, I can say, did their job for the first time in my life. They actually did something right.
Yeah.
By arresting the 5 police officers that shot Breonna Taylor. What got me, I did not even know that there was a lady, a white officer lady, who is testifying. She done pled for 5 years. Check this out, Big Hank. And testifying on the other ones because of I was reading his current. Dean said that
I know.
30K in furniture and had to return it. See, that's furniture. But wait a minute. I didn't know that there was all these cops in favor. I didn't know that all these cops was part of falsifying paperwork, a lie, and all these. If you notice, lies is costing people. Now, people say January 6th was fake. Then why did I just research on the people's families who lost some, 6 people died. One lady was shot, but 5 of the guards, and they was injured. None of them was saying it was fake. One guy is mad, and he was a veteran too. And he asked for all the veterans who, know that he's telling the truth to stand up with him. He said, these people are vicious. That's what he said. But I want to say this. Okay, we have been talking about Breonna Taylor a couple of times in our show. We had brought her up. As anybody remember, I bring it up, is that Breonna Taylor was a young lady where the police did a no-knock warrant, kicked in her door. Her boyfriend happened to be there and shot once, thought it was an intruder, and shot at the leg. He said he didn't want to kill nobody, but he shot and it hit one of the police officers in the leg. They shot in her house 44 times and hit her 6 times and killed her. Well, it goes to the attorney general, who was a black guy.
He said,
well, Mr. Cameron, then he suppressed evidence Just like somebody we know that's the vice president, and when they was attorney general of California, will suppress evidence so the guys with marijuana charges can stay in there. I'm just being factual. Anything that I tell people, please look it up. This attorney general suppressed evidence to the grand jury to where only one guy, one of the police officers, was indicted. And that's because he was shooting in another apartment. Some of the bullets he shot went into another apartment. I kept looking at stuff myself, and I kept finding that they supposed to reach out to the postal service, and the grand master dude of the postal service said they did not have no boxes. That was looking suspicious. So the police lied on all of this because now this is the one that gets real tricky, Big Hank. They knew that her boyfriend was a licensed gun holder, but they had timed him down to where on this particular night he's never really spends the night. But he caught them off guard because this particular night he is there. Now, I want to know, well, what did they think that she was by herself? He was going to kick in the door while she sleep with a note after you falsified the paper, because really they must want to find some money and stuff like that, because they knew her boyfriend, not the ex-boyfriend, the one who they was after, the boyfriend who shot. They knew he was licensed to have a gun, and they had staked it out. The news, there was a pattern that the night that they was coming, he don't usually be there. Now, he happens to be there. The attorney general at this time said there's no reason to charge anybody. And now the grand jury asked the judge, they want to show that this guy was wrong. So these past months, he living like, yeah. And the same time while Breonna Taylor was going on, the same black guy marries Mitch McConnell's granddaughter. Mitch McConnell, the old Jimmy Stewart sounding senator, right? He married his granddaughter at Mitch McConnell's house while he's in the middle of the Breonna Taylor stuff, and he surpasses, right? Well, guess what? The feds jumped in. Now, here's the guy, I'm gonna bring him up. This dude, now he's defending Breonna Taylor's probe after feds charged cops involved in her death. He said he's proud of work. The people stated that you suppressed the evidence, dude. The feds have arrested 5 of them, where the lady officer, the female officer, took a plea deal because she admitted she falsified papers and everything, all because of lies. Now, how can the feds find all the stuff and this man didn't, and you the attorney general? Unless he did, because they said he suppressed evidence.
Right.
The feds did not suppress.
Right.
So was he looking out for who?
Well,
I'm trying to, somebody explain to me, who was he looking out for?
He was looking out for the police.
And himself.
Well, I don't think it had nothing to do with himself. The thing is, it seemed like he would be doing his job. Who wants to be known that you sleeping and stuff? So what was they going to do to merit? What was they did? What a bum rushed up in that woman's house? Who gets shot in your house on a bogus raid?
Wow.
The people made up lies. This woman should still be getting up, going to work from some lies they made up. And this guy had to know that they made that up. This is Cynthia Joi just got in the house. How you doing, Miss Cynthia Joi?
How y'all doing, Sugarfoot, sweet faces, honey dumplings?
What's happening, Joy?
Your Joy, she come in all late and then was like, how you doing, Sugarfoot, hammer dumplings?
How y'all doing?
I could see you
Good.
traveling and stuff, so that shows why I knew you wasn't in. When I was like, hey, she had to take care of something seriously.
You already know if I ain't in here, it must be something important.
Yeah, I was speaking about you earlier about how you working with the ADA, and I've got some stuff, I'm pushing that with you too and stuff. But we talking about this guy right here. You see who this guy is, right, Cynthia Joy?
Yeah, I see this.
What you gonna say? What you see him?
Yeah, I see him. I'm gonna have to blow it up though. Hold on.
Well, it's the Attorney General for Kentucky who
Okay.
suppressed evidence when Breonna Taylor got killed, and the FBI has now arrested the police officers.
Hey, now, did you say he married Mitch McConnell's daughter?
Mitch
Granddaughter.
McConnell's granddaughter.
Oh
He
man.
married
Okay,
her.
so
He married her at the same time that the Breonna Taylor's case was going through.
Mm.
you let him know what side you stand on.
To me, I don't care if he is married with that. It doesn't bother me. My thing is that you take an oath that justice is to be blind, and here it is. I seen him with his mother, and his mother is so proud of him. Even she may not ways, but she's proud of him. That's her child. He's somebody's child. But what I don't like is the lack of empathy of that,
Right.
dude. You are a child. Here's this people have a child, and you think that we supposed to just accept that we lost a child.
Right.
This is a part of humanity that I have a concern with. When I see one time, it was another black lady. We was talking about a lady lost her child. She had 7 kids, and one of her kids, and the lady said, well, she got 7.
Wow.
How does that justify? What are you saying?
Right.
Wow.
What is this dude saying? You see these people crying. You seeing that this young lady, Breonna Taylor, was when she knew that her ex-boyfriend, she didn't. That's probably why they broke up, because she like, I'm not into tearing down the community. You selling dope. I don't know. He happened to pop over at how they knew the whole get downs. These people lied, graciously lied. 6 police officers, it was just shown. I'm gonna show the video probably Thursday something. 6 police officers go to these people's house. They got 2 rings. They got 2 ringers, right? They got 2 ringers, and one of the ringers is where people can see. The other ringer is hitting. They got a camera with vocals, but they got another ringer where you can't see it at the door. Well, the cops that's all up, N-word this, N-word, all the N-word, they was sent up there. This is the other day. It's N-word this, N-word that, right? And I'm doing this for political reasons. I'm not saying the word because I have no problem with saying the N-word, but we got some people looking at it. I want to be where I'm being honest. One of the police officers sees that there's a ring and that they hear it, so he grabs the ringer off and throws it in the yard, not knowing that the other one is filming all their actions.
Wow.
See,
Yeah.
I have a problem with this. It takes a lawyer 12 years to understand and know law, but it takes these police 4 to 6 months with a gun in the badge to uphold the same laws. And I don't mind you holding them, but I have a problem when the image of when I see an active shooter and you're running away, but we got 600 unarmed people shot from traffic stops.
Right.
A lady's laying in her bed. There's no empathy. And then some
Oh
people
man.
wonder why we don't go out Charles Bronson, Death Wish 3 and 4 and all that. Some people say, oh, they just killing themselves. I cannot stand this argument. I've had this with some of my family members. I'm not going to call their name, but I think it's one of the most senseless arguments that when I bring up stuff like this, you know what they counter with me, Big Hank? You know what they say to me?
What's that, man?
Well, you know, blacks is killing blacks more than anything. I can't stand that counter.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody justifying that.
No.
Sometimes if we catch them, they get caught. I can't understand when the police can kill somebody and then say you lie about it, and go home and eat some tapioca and watch some old Drew Carey shows. I have a problem with that. I have a problem when they're on the news, you just mention, oh, well, they lost their job or they're on administration leave. They're going to get paid while they ponder. Get your story right, because why'd you kill them?
Yeah.
I was reaching for a gun.
Yeah, it's been unequal justice going on for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel you and why it irritates you, but to be honest, I understand why they say it, because you can't expect another race to respect us if we don't respect us.
If we don't respect ourselves.
But see,
Right.
it don't counter though when you get killed with authority compared
Right.
to outlaws
That's true.
out on the streets. See, there's a difference. In
Right,
the streets,
that's
we
true.
didn't take no oath to uphold the law. I've always said that if a cop get caught on a crime, he should do 3 times of what a general public person should do, because you took an oath to uphold the law. I did not
agree with that.
You did
I
not.
agree with that too.
So that's called unlawful territory when cats in the streets kill each other. And if in some situation you hope that the police get to them before we get to them.
Right.
But when the police do it, we can't even stand around when we seen them jumping.
Like you said, though, when the police do it, it's 10 times as wrong. Because, like you said, they made a choice to uphold the law. So when they don't honor what they took the oath for, they are 10 times more responsible than we are.
Yeah, when they shot in Breonna Taylor's, they lied throughout the whole thing.
Yep.
And nobody was there to, okay, so 44 times. I felt like when I heard about all the gunshots, one, they lied at first on that. They said they discharged about 3 or 4 shots, 44 shots. And I'm thinking like DMX said, he's shooting, don't know what's in his hand. He can't control what's in his hand, shooting my man and all them, right? They was a gauntlet. Oh, they shooting through walls. At this time, I don't care if it's an infant, baby, grandmama, nobody.
Somebody would have got hit.
I'm shooting through walls.
Hey, that's what Pac said. Pac said, how can I miss? I'm shooting 100 rounds. I can't miss. You can't miss if you're shooting 100 rounds at somebody. Ain't no way.
You can't miss.
You can't miss.
Then when they're one reloaded, ain't checked. Where's your police procedures?
Right.
Another active shooter was at a school. Was acting like it was at school. But it was a false alarm. But this is the second time the police maced the parents and handcuffed them from going in there. Now, where does this start happening? Now, what do you do? Here's some police who don't want to deal with the threat, but telling you want to fight with me to go get my kids.
That would be a problem for me.
It wouldn't, man. You see where it happened at. It wouldn't happen at them in them upper echelon spots. I bet you that. Wouldn't have went down like that.
The minority sometimes looks at like they get over it.
Yeah.
They get over it. That's hard on us. And I be like, when I seen that Merritt sent to 5, and you read it, please go read it, how the lady, I didn't know this lady was involved, the police officer lady. They falsified papers all the way from and an innocent person is killed. And what gets me the most is that they had the boyfriend, the previous boyfriend, who's licensed with a gun, knew his get downs, and they keep bringing up that he wasn't supposed to be in there. He wasn't supposed to be there. God told him to happen to be there, because something probably would have happened to Breonna Taylor for real. What do 6 police officers come to your porch and they know that it's taping you, and they take it and throw it in the yard? That sounds like somebody's trying to do some stuff they don't want to be seen or heard.
They was up to something. Yeah, they was up to something.
For real. Now, Commander, one of the guys I respect a lot, he'll be on this evening with Richard King on the WO Entertainment Show. He's a retired police officer. He told me, he said, Roy, I took my gun out twice, and you couldn't blame him. One had a gun at him, and he had to shoot back, and one had a machete, and he was in a small area. Mm-hmm. He said, it amazes them. They got the artillery and everything. They try to say kids that play these PlayStations wants to go out and use a weapon. What about these guys with these? And so I ain't never said to just claim the police are. I just think there's need to be more testing, and don't defund them. Each one needs to go get a associate's arts degree for humanity and socialism before you run in these streets. We need to change our laws that if you do catch a case, you should be judged by the peers that within 2.5 miles of where you live. You can't be where I live in Long Beach and I'm getting tried by people who lives in Santa Monica and Beverly Hills. That's not fair. We got a totally way of living. I can probably understand why Jeffro beat bust little Junebug in the head and stuff. And right, that understandable, because you know what I'm saying? I might understand that. But we get judged by our peers, and this is why I told Cynthia. She said she was from Southside Chicago. I've been around, seen the Sabrina Greens areas. They throw that down. I've seen all that. Look here. We have never, ever, I'm going to reiterate this again to anybody, we have never, ever lived in a black neighborhood. There's only one township that I know, and that's Nicodemus, Kansas, and you never really hear of it. And they got a black mayor, black police officers, we lived in white neighborhoods that's occupied by more blacks. I don't care if you Nickerson Gardens, I don't care if it's the Watts, I don't care if it is a white neighborhood that is occupied by more blacks, because when the police are called, who's coming to watch, Big Hank? Who's coming to watch? I said, when the police are called and watch anything, who's coming?
White police.
When you go to the doctors, when you had to go to the hospital, who was it?
Ain't nothing but white people up in there.
The school system, you may have a charter school, but for the school to recognize you have to go through the actual district, the school board system, that's what Governor DeSantis is going through right now. They taking out, which I totally agree. Don't teach my kids the sex stuff. I don't need you to teach them the sexual parts and stuff. I don't need you to do that. Stay with the A's and B's. Let's stay with trigonometry and teach about money marketing and all that. Yeah. I don't need you to teaching my boys to be fairy tales and all this stuff.
Yeah. Unicorns and all that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, none of that.
I said I'm taking it back. I'm going to take back what the rainbow means, which is a promise that God wouldn't destroy this land with water next time we with fire. Now we can't celebrate a rainbow because somebody got the nerves to eye you. Oh, you got a rainbow. I don't like all that. I don't judge people who you are.
Or the
like
or the pronouns that you got to go by nowadays.
Well, like I said, a manatee is a manatee. They should have known when they was cutting these men's balls off that they still a man. I don't care what he wants to think himself of. You get in a. They found out when that MMA fighter, they cut him, make him he wants to be a woman, but his muscular tone hasn't fit that part yet. He went in that ring and whipped that woman around there like it was the domestic case. He whipped that woman like she hadn't paid rent and hadn't cooked dinner. For real. Then they want to give
I don't judge nobody either, but I'm giving them their own thing. If that's what they want to do, let them fight each other.
Yeah.
Cut your thing off. Y'all can have a cut your thing off league. A league over there with all the motherfuckers to cut their thing off. Y'all go over there and play and fight and do all that.
They can fight a dude. You might as well fight a dude, because now if you get kicked in between your legs, it won't bother you. The dude try to kick him in the legs, he'd be like, "Oh, you thought you had bows.
You thought you had me. You thought you got me. You thought you got me. You thought you got me, but you didn't get me. Yeah, I ain't got one. I ain't got one.
Yeah, lock your foot.
I ain't got one.
In between his legs and lock his ankle and be like, "Oh, there's nothing there." You can't.
Hey, that when we was little. That was your last grab. If you had one last grab when you was little, you was getting choked out, or nigga, you would just grab that nigga. Ah!
Yeah.
Or kick real hard.
Yeah, because just a little thumping at the right spot.
Yep. And then drop them.
Wait a minute. You talking like someone experienced, because you do not have to talk.
She didn't did it before. Had to do it before.
My stomach turn.
Well, yeah. Put that Nike Cortez right up in that. Put that Nike Cortez right there.
Yeah. There's certain testimonies of Vandal leaving out. She's leaving out certain parts of her testimony. Yeah, I just had a run in with a guy one time, and I was just like, the Lord worked it out. Yeah. Worked the foot into that man's program. The way she was just vivid, she's like, yes. Eyes got all serious. But see, we find some. I want our neighbors to know. Look, we always still laugh. We laugh at stuff, but it's serious to us every day. Every day when I come out, I got a bullseye on my back. I don't know if I go to a public spot and some serial person who wants to prove himself. Police got me on the wrong identity charge. For real. They had that one brother in Vegas in jail for 2 weeks and didn't even look at the picture. They were looking for a 40-year-old white guy and arrested this 22-year-old black guy because they had the same name, Kevin Smith. For real. And they didn't want to look at the picture. No, he said, "Man, I don't have no warrant. I ain't been there." Oh, no, come on. When they got to court, now look here. He keep telling him it's not me. It's until they go to court and the judge is about to put and the lady said, "Hold up, judge, this ain't even the guy." 2 weeks, she ain't looked at a picture.
Wow.
It's these situations. So yes, I'm about to start a GoFundMe that I'm thinking about moving to Nairobi. So if anybody wants to chip in.
Tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm moving too, man. I'm going with you.
Yeah, they be like,
We'll put it up first
a lot of
y'all.
money rolling, Big Hank. Y'all haven't left yet. We're making preparations. We might as well start lying to the American public. Yeah, I'm moving back to Africa.
Yeah, here go my GoFundMe account.
They should have known that's a lie when I said back.
Send help. Send help.
Yeah, we're all moving back to Africa. Cynthia Joi, you was not here. I was sharing this is a true story before we get about here. A young dude doing the one of the video during the times when they were doing Make America Great Again rallies or whatever. Him and his partner decided that they were going to do a GoFundMe and say they want to move back to Africa. And they gave reasons why, and that America's disappointed them, and that they have made up their minds. They're going to. So they put it on as a joke. 2 days later, he was gonna take the account down because he was like, he was reading how other people was using for real stuff, right? He had raised $350,000. In 2 days.
White people was trying to get him up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, nigga, you want to leave? We got airport, we got helicopters,
planes. We got to deal with.
Real.
Yeah, you're going another. You're going
out of here.
Get you where you want to
You get 350,000. Do it. Hope you live nice. This should get you a couple of goats and a nice hut.
That's funny as hell. We can't get no help to feed nobody, but when motherfuckers want to leave the country, they like, get the fuck out.
And it's not all white. I tell people like this.
Here go 20,000, nigga. Get you a first round trip, a first class ticket.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't no black donators too. Don't get that wrong. We just showed one of them. He let a black lady get killed in her bed and don't want to press no charges.
Cold thing.
Now they all looking at federal charges. The federal charges for real, you know. But see, the thing is, and I tell people before we get off here, that's not them people. All people are good. God said everything I made is good. It's the demons that they don't fight. The demons give you implications of thoughts. They can't possess you. That's a lie. He can't read your thoughts. That's a lie. He can only implement your thoughts. And he works with your ego and your pridefulness. You don't let him talk to you like that. You need to say this about him. Then you say something back, then like he's telling them, oh, you won't let them talk to you like that. Look how they trying to be defiant. You better put them in their place. That's what. Those are good people, January the 6th. Those are good people. They just couldn't find them demons.
You sound like Trump.
Those are good people.
Those are good. Well, they're good people.
They are good people. They just trying to do the right thing. They just couldn't control the demons.
I'm about to go.
Demons. We all have demons that we need to fight. They was not bad people. Now, Roy and Big Hank at one time were actual bad people, no matter if they had demons. But they are better people now. They did that. They became better through my presence and see and stuff. But you got to remember, all these people are good people. They're good people. They just is led by demons.
You a whole damn fool.
A whole, not a half. A whole.
You gotta do your hands like Kim. You gotta do your hands like that. You got Russia. You got China. You got Joe Biden and the Dems. You got Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Yeah. They are good people. I love Putin. I love Kim Pong-hung. They're good people. They just got demons. Believe me when I read my Bible, which is held upside down across the
You got it upside down.
Read my Bible, the God tells me that these are good people. I'm gonna come over to Roy's house. When
you gotta get it, man.
I'm gonna come over. I ate dinner with Roy to let you know I'm not like that. We had collard greens and hot butter cornbread. We had smothered pork chops. Yes, I, Donald Trump, ate smothered pork chops and collard greens.
Yes, sir.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
man.
Look, people's gonna say, hey, Roy should be flagged for that. I mean, for real, you know what? I like them people. I study, I watch all the people.
You study everybody.
And guess what? They're all good people. It's just the demons. That's what we need to fight. They said that we don't deal with flesh and blood. We deal with spirits and principalities, evils and unaware, evils in high places. That's what it says.
That's real talk right there.
Yeah,
It's
principalities.
Yeah,
That's
it's
real
not the
talk
people.
for real.
Principalities and demons.
Yeah, dude came at me all hard and all that, called me out my name and stuff. I said, dude, it's not you, it's the demon. So I'm gonna exercise that demon. And then I said, you all right, bro? That demon took you through some stuff. Remember, it's not a confrontation.
It's a conversation.
You feel me? All that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The demons speak out. You know, hey y'all, I'll see y'all Thursday, man. God bless y'all, man. Big Hank, I'm so happy to see you.
Holla back. I'll see y'all Thursday.
All right, see you Thursday. God bless y'all.
All right, Willette.
All right, love y'all. Holla back.
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show.